Welcome to the weekly, and welcome to my hermitage studio here on the South Shores of Boston, Massachusetts. I am back from what turned out to be a week of traveling. That was not intended. I was going to make it a little less than a week, but I kept running out of time every day. So I decided to extend my stay in the Steel City just a tad longer so that I could make sure to catch up with the folks that I wanted to see. I haven't been to Pittsburgh. It was more or less a year. I had made a very brief visit into Pittsburgh last year to pay my respects to a good friend and an incredible and talented artist, Gary Pletch, which you've heard me talk about before, a real influence on my life. I had visited Pittsburgh real briefly to pay my respects to him by visiting his property over on the West End. He had just some incredible, amazing gardens that he had personally designed and put together himself. That was kind of the other half of his life. The first half was doing his pottery almost every day. The second half was developing this beautiful landscape architecture behind his home. So I just went there real briefly last year for that trip. And then, so this year, in the warm weather season, I've been able to go back and spend time with a lot of other friends that I've been needing to catch up with for a very long time. So I'm back at the Hermitage studio. I arrived yesterday, 11-hour drive. And two things I really just wanted to mention to you in this blog. First of all, thank you for all your comments from last week's video. I was able to share with you my time at St. Vincent's, the first monastery that I was in, and I had a lot of feedback from that little brief, the little brief moments that I was able to show you. Some of we kind of stuck down into the crypt, and I showed you some of my favorite areas and some of my favorite artwork to this day remains at the mothership of all abbeys, St. Vincent's. They have some incredible art, and they've incorporated that artwork into some very prayerful spaces. And my favorite space at that abbey is the crypt. So thank you for all your comments. I'll try to do more, more videos like that as I'm able to. I would love to be able to travel out to St. Joseph's and show you some of my favorite spaces in that abbey property if I'm permitted to do that. And secondly, I really have to just apologize to you. I promised you before my trip I was going to list my new mini clouds, and I had every intention to work on my website, and I was just simply too absorbed in my trip, a little overwhelmed, may I say, in my visit to Pittsburgh, the Steel City. Every time I go there, the city has again transformed itself, and this trip was pretty amazing to see what's happening in all these different little areas in Pittsburgh, the north side, the south side. Lawrenceville is just, along Butler Street, is just exploding with so many things happening. And I was just too overwhelmed to even spend time. I had brought books, I had brought my laptop. I was going to work on my website. I was going to do some sketching. I was going to do some photography. None of that really panned out. Instead, I was able to get closer to the ones I love, and I left there filled with that love and just being renewed in the sense of creativity in seeing what's happening in the Steel City. So just to let you know, these are being listed. And over the weekend, while I returned for a brief moment at Glastonbury to kind of reground myself, I will take some time to list these minis. Some of them have already sold. Thank you for those who just send me emails and said saw the pictures of them from last week and said I want a few. So I already sold a few, but what is left I will list, and then you can grab those up. I have plans to make more, but probably not for about 4 weeks or so. So keep your eye out for those, and I promised you some photography, and that is in the works, and that will be coming. I have a lot of photography to share with you, and sometimes I feel conflicted. I want to share my painted works with you. I love creating hand-painted works and original artwork. But I do have a lot of photography, of course most of it's seascape, that I want to bring to the forefront here, and that will be on my website very soon also. And hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll have some good news on upcoming exhibits that I'm involved with. I'm just going to hold on to that for a minute until those things for surely pan out. And there are a couple other works developing over the summertime here, very exciting projects that I'm getting involved with that I'll share with you. But I'm so happy to be back at the Hermitage and to again absorb myself in the solitude that I'm afforded here, that I'm so thankful that I get to just almost drown myself in because it feeds my creativity. It directly feeds my creativity. At one time, I spent so long in Pittsburgh, and that city, I was reflecting on my time there a few days ago, and how the city experience directly produced my artwork. And it's so different now. My solitude and the deep experience of my solitude here at the Hermitage now fuels what I create. And I really don't miss the city anymore. I don't miss Pittsburgh, and I don't miss living in the city at all. A lot of people asked me that question while I was there over these past couple days, and I do not miss it. But I am so thankful to have visited there and to see all the great things that are happening in the city of Pittsburgh, and with my friends who live there, artists and non-artists alike. So with that, a little bit of rambling, I'll leave you with that this week, and I'll see you next week. Stay creative, and if you can, stay meditative.